Running away is easy. It's the leaving that's hard. Loving you was easy. It's the leaving that's scarred. Time moves slow when you're on your own. Is that a bad thing? Time does move slow when you're on your own, but isn't that nice? Because that just means, don't you have more time? You have more time for you. You have more time to explore. They're lyrics from a song by Bad Bad Not Good. I think it's called Time Moves Slow. Something's moving too slow for you. And at the moment, you are not seeing the benefits of that. Who wants to feel like life just goes on forever on your own? I don't. I've been single a good few years now and it's lovely. It's lovely. I definitely enjoy it, but would I like someone? Yeah, I probably would. Probably would. Divine Feminine. It's very difficult to meet someone and open up to someone when you've done the work yourself and you've woken up to your shadow side and you operate with absolute clarity. Yeah. When you meet people, you can often call them out in the first 5 minutes. I'm feeling like if you get a message in your inbox, you know, if it's on social media, a random friend's request, a message, somebody that you meet out on the street, I feel you calling judgment on these meetings, on these situations. You're calling judgment immediately. Nah, he wouldn't be for me. Nah, she wouldn't be for me. Your gut instinct, since you've sort of spiritually awakened, your instinct is on fire. I don't dispute this because obviously, you know, there's that old age story about women going shopping and they go in the first shop and they see a dress that they really, really like and they think that dress is fire. But they don't buy that dress straight away, so they'll go from shop to shop to shop and they'll have a look and they'll search the rails. All the while the men are outside like, what the chuff? And quite often women will go back to the first shop they were at, to that first dress, to the gut instinct, and that is the one that they'll buy. There's a lot to be said about your judgment and calling judgment on an individual and a situation, particularly in dating. I'm saying that you should be given a second chance. Maybe the message coming through at the moment is the message coming through at the moment is not to be so quick, because you are at such an elevated status. It's gonna be very difficult for you to find somebody who's at your level at the moment. That's what I'm getting, okay? So I am not at all saying that you should settle, and I'm not at all saying that you shouldn't follow your gut. But what I am saying is, unfortunately, when the Divine Feminines get to a certain point in their journey and they've elevated and they've completed their cycles and they've done the work, it's almost like, it sounds terrible this, but it's almost like everybody is below us. And I'm not talking about just, you know, Divine Feminines. Obviously this goes for masculines as well who've been on the journey. Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine is about learning and balancing those two aspects within yourself, okay? The Divine Feminine, the feminine aspect of it, females, over the years, we have evolved quicker and we've gotten to those elevated points faster than the Divine Masculine. That is in no way put down, that is just unfortunately the way that things have gone. And I'm happy to, you know, take points on that and discuss that and do another video on that. That is just the way it is. Okay, the Divine Feminines have emerged in the modern day, in this day and age, faster than the Divine Masculines have had a chance to sort of scratch their arses, really. So I think what I want to say is, if you are a Divine Feminine and you are au fait with your journey and time is moving slow and you can't meet anybody because, you know, the score, and possibly you are calling judgment, not in a bad way, but you are calling judgment on these situations that you come across, the people that you meet. You know, you call them quick because obviously you know, because of your gut, this reading might well be for you, and this is what we're looking at. Okay, I am definitely not saying in any way that you should compromise your intuition, because if you're here for a reason, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to take them in. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Hierophant, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, Strength, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Okay, news coming in about a commitment. News coming in about a commitment or some kind of traditional institution. I kind of feel like this is your energy at the moment, this Queen of Pentacles, Divine Feminine. So, Queen of Pentacles is assured. Assured, self-sufficient. Again, I'm feeling this vibe of like, don't need anything, don't need nothing in my life. There's nothing that you can give me. I'm channeling an energy of a single woman or male that has kind of come to the end of the journey with the whole fuckery and heartbreaking games. And they've sat up and said to themselves, no more. No more of this. This isn't what I'm going to do. I'm going to completely detach from the emotions of this situation. I'm going to move on. I'm going to know that I am all that I need. I am self-sufficient. That is the current energy. So for the Eight of Wands to come through with the Hierophant, I feel like potentially there is a bit of a warning here that you are going to get communication from someone who is potentially going to tell you that with the Hierophant they have done the work. So they're going to come at you from that place. So they're going to communicate with you and they're going to try and meet you at your level, is what I'm feeling. The Eight of Fire being trajectory, they could try this from a number of angles. So it may not necessarily just be a text message. They could be just firing off all kinds here. So I'm getting through a lot of online activity. So if this is possibly somebody that you are dealing with, that you've got on your social medias, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you could find that their habits for their posts change slightly. So maybe their posts may go a little bit more on the metaphysical side. That is going to be a sign that they are trying to, even if, you know, if you're not displaying yourself like that on your social media, the more metaphysical they get on their social media, that is them trying to reach out to you. With the Hierophant, I feel like they're trying to meet your standard. They're trying to match your level. The Hierophant, they could have had a teacher. They could have evolved spiritually. It is entirely possible. And they could be looking now for this kind of spiritual connection. Okay. In the kinds of present energies, we've got the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Strength card. This is speaking to me strongly of recovery. So we've had the Three of Trials in the past. Heartbreak, yeah. Third party situation, yeah. But most likely, the Three of Air for me, trials, is it's a burst bubble. The Three of Swords is a burst bubble. That's the best way that I can put it. So it's where your emotions have built up and then all of a sudden the reality of something hits a situation and you pop. So the reality of the situation could be, this could potentially be with somebody that you loved, that we're reading about here, that you've had a close relationship with. Maybe this spiritual aspect kind of separated you for a time because they needed to catch up. Maybe you're more of a dreamer and they're more of a realist, and them being more of a realist has kind of squashed any dreams that you had of being with this person. It's caused a lot of mental pain because we've got the Eight of Swords, and it is confinement, it is a mental prison. So this is definitely pertaining to, you know, that this could be an individual read for somebody where there's been a large amount of, you know, mental activity and overthinking about this situation. There's a lack of clarity. There's a lack of clarity and there's a lack of love language. So, you know about love languages. Some people portray it, you know, they'll give affection, hugs, kisses, whatever. And on the other side of things, you know, it can be, the other person can be very logical. Giving a stupid example here, but with me, I've got children with a man, and we're not together. Okay, so I mean that's fine and we're great, everything is absolutely fantastic, but I tend to be a little bit of a worrier and an overthinker. When I come across times in my life where perhaps I'm worried about my children, say I'm worried about their health, something like that, when I speak to the children's dad, he is the one straight away, he'll say no. He applies the logical brain to the situation and he says, you know, in nicer words, you're being daft, don't worry about that, it's fine, basically you're being a knobhead. That's kind of his love language for me, although we're not in love and we're not in a loving relationship. I think that there's a hint here to understand how people communicate with each other. So where I am all feelings and fuzzy and intuition, he is very logical, straight, I'll tell you how it is, and really it's about finding balance, if that makes sense. That's what I'm seeing here. So I'm seeing you basically being very evolved on the emotional, spiritual, esoteric plane. And in the past, them not so, but it looks like they are kind of coming up to meet you there. Three of Swords, Eight of Swords with the Strength card. This is someone coming out of that mire. I feel like your person may have been constrained by these logical aspects of life. And this is where they've not really got where you've coming from. Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, Strength. Yeah, it's feeling very much to me like trying to be, I don't know if it's I'm going into this too much, but if it's like right brains or left brains, things like right brain, like the logical aspect of them. They've been trying so hard to stay in that kind of logical state. They've been in a real battle, or you have, a real battle between, this is an absolute battle between head and heart. That's what I'm seeing. The Strength card is signifying to me that, you know, the battle is going to be overcome. The Strength card also signifies, you know, with the battle, it's a victory of man over beast. So it's kind of man over thoughts for me. So that plays out beautifully in that row, that actually whoever's been struggling, this person is going to be victorious over their thoughts, over their mind. It's going to be their sort of their primitive person with the Strength card. It's going to be like their primitive person that is going to overcome, which is what you want, because the primitive person is gut, intuition. You know, it's that whole caveman aspect of a person. So that also is very beautiful. For the outcome down here, we've got the Knight of Fire, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. This is really interesting. So we've got a Knight of Fire, but yes, we're talking about masculine energy. Yes, we're talking about in, out, shake it all about. We are talking about somebody who is easily distracted. We're talking about somebody who is fun, who is adventurous, who is sexy. You know, we're talking about the guy or girl who's going to go and get the guy or girl. We've got that in the middle with the Queen of Swords, who is experienced, is potentially a divorcee or a widower. So in other terms, she's experienced with relationship bullshit, yeah? And she's quite prepared to cut somebody off when necessary. Tell me your truth, or off you go, off with your head. And the Knight of Earth. The Knight of Earth, who's a very slow moving knight. I need to get some clarification on this, because I'm doing a read for the Divine Feminine primarily. And obviously we've got two knights surrounding the Queen of Swords. I'm feeling, look at these cards, my overall at the moment is that Divine Feminine, you may have a couple of suitors that are after you at the moment. They could easily be showing up, as I said, in your DMs with the Eight of Wands there on the top row, because you're an amazing prospect. You're beautiful, you're grounded, you're self-sufficient, you're happy on your own, and there's just a strong sense that people are just wanting to get on this at the minute, which is good. And like I say, with the channel's message, I'm feeling that your discernment is on point. I don't think it's going to let you down. I think you're up to that stage where you can be like, nah. Do you want a bit of clarification on the Knight of Fire and the Knight of Earth with the Queen of Swords, please? It's looking like you've got a couple of people here that you really can't be arsed with. Knight of Fire, High Priestess, Knight of Earth, please. Knight of Earth, thank you. Ten of Swords, oh, interesting. And bottom of the deck, Justice. Okay, so we'll wrap it up. The Knight of Fire, this is basically the Knight of Wands. So you could be dealing, one of these people that you could be dealing with could be this in, out, shake it all about energy. Could be a fire sign, could be a fire sign, could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But the High Priestess is telling me with this particular person, with this fire energy, they're coming in all passionate. You actually, you know, you've got their number, so you know exactly what's going on. Yeah, your discernment is on point, you know exactly what to do. The Knight of Earth could be a more slow moving energy, could be talking about a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and they've come out with the Ten of Swords. So this is indicating to me that this particular energy could have hurt you to the point of no return, or you already know that it's over. For these two energies to come out flanking the Queen of Swords, I've actually got a feeling, Divine Feminine, that you've not got time for either of them. I feel a little bit like you're cutting them both off. Okay. That's the message that I'm getting through. You are on fire with your intuition. As I said at the start, you know exactly what the deal is and what's going on. I think what I'm going to do here, obviously I don't do extendeds and members and stuff like that because I'm just not into that. So what I'm going to do is do another read now and see, because this energy is coming at you, I want to see what's new. I want to see what's going to happen next. Okay. So let's pull another one. Alright. Love you loads. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Mwah.